UK metalcore band Architects are back with a brand new song called Hereafter off of their newly announced album Holy Hell. And this is the first album or first song that they've released since the death of their guitarist. And it's definitely a kind of mournful tribute, it feels like, in a lot of ways to him personally, but also just to the idea of loss in general and kind of moving on after something tragic. Now, if you've been hoping that the band will kind of go back to their mathcore influence roots of early Grave, this is going to leave you a bit disappointed still, but at this time, if you're not really on board with their sound or expecting this, then you've kind of probably already jumped ship. They're continuing their push forward with their technical metalcore sound, and I really think that they've enhanced and improved it. They've kind of been building up throughout their last few albums. I felt like their last one kind of came as a surprise, considering that it felt kind of refreshing. Some of their songs kind of felt a bit samey, I guess. They kind of felt like the same kind of chugging guitar riffs, but there was enough kind of style on there, and I think that that's kind of more what we're going to get. I think they've definitely kind of pushed themselves forward here with this song Hereafter. There's still a lot of chugging on here, particularly within the verses. If that's not something you're down with, it's going to leave you a little bit disappointed. But when things kind of open up with the bridge and in the choruses, there's this really awesome kind of guitar riff that they got going on, this kind of tapping sound. I think it works well. I think the backing synths work, especially with the sound that they're kind of more mournful sound that they're going for. The clean vocals work on this. I think that he's improved his vocals so much from the early days of the band and just over the last couple albums that he does a much better job at conveying the emotion that they're trying to with the song and with what they're saying and the message. Speaking of lyrically, again, I think this really kind of deals with loss and tragedy and kind of moving on, and the video itself is kind of them being left during the rapture and watching people being pulled up to heaven. And I kind of get the sense that that's what the whole theme of this song is, kind of just being left behind after something happens, such as the death of a friend. And I think it works with the video, but I think even if you're not watching the video and just listening to the song, I think the lyrical content, the overall sound of it really kind of conveys that message, and it feels like a bit of a tribute again, and I think it's something that they pull off very well. It remains to be seen if this is something that is the whole tone for the album, but it's definitely a great single to kind of get you excited for this album and for what they can do. It's a very heavy track overall, especially during those hard punching moments. And there's the nice kind of breakdown towards the end of the song that I think doesn't go full cheesy China breakdown style, but it just kind of keeps you going and kind of gives a nice moment there in that song. So I'll be interested to hear what they have to pull off with this album, what it's going to sound like. I can't wait to kind of hear more to get a sense of really what it's going to be. But I'm always excited for a new Architects album, because no matter what, they always kind of surprise me. They've always managed time after time to, just when I think I'm kind of getting bored of the band or bored of their sound, they just really kind of hit hard. The opening track off their last album, Nihilist, really just blew me away. I was at the point where I wasn't super excited about that album, and that kind of just drew me in. And from that point on, I was hooked off that entire album. I loved it. So I'm really looking forward to this album and to hear what they have to say and to hear what the whole album is going to sound like. Thank you so much for watching the review of Architects Hereafter, their brand new song off of their upcoming album Holy Hell. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the Metalloud channel for more, as well as make sure you're following me on social media, on Twitter at Metalloud, on Instagram Metal_loud, as well as the Facebook page, facebook.com/Metalloud, as well as if you want to, there is a Patreon to donate to, which is just Patreon/Metalloud.